If you're born in the Mariana Trench, your life's going to be a nightmare from the very start. The moment you exist, you're trapped in a world of complete darkness, extreme pressure, and never-ending hunger. There's no light, no warmth, and no way out. The water around you's so heavy that if a human were dropped here, they'd be crushed instantly. The only reason you don't explode is that your body's made of soft, squishy tissue instead of solid bone. But with this comes its own problems. If you ever try to leave, you'll die. Your body's built for this crushing environment, and if you rise even a little too high, you'll start falling apart. You don't get to escape. You don't get to explore. You're stuck in the abyss forever. And when we say abyss, we really mean it. The Mariana Trench is the deepest place on Earth, stretching down nearly 11 kilometers. That's almost 7 miles straight down. If you dropped Mount Everest into it, the peak would still be over a mile underwater. If you dropped a commercial airplane into it at cruising altitude, it would still be thousands of feet underwater. It's so deep that if you somehow managed to fall from the surface, it would take you over an hour to reach the bottom. And once you got there, you'd be crushed by pressure so strong it could turn a car into a tiny flattened lump of metal. It's also always night. Sunlight never reaches this deep, meaning the only light comes from the creatures around you. But here's the problem. If you can see light, that usually means something's trying to eat you. Some deep-sea predators, like the anglerfish, have glowing lures that trick unsuspecting prey into swimming right into their mouths. Others use bioluminescence to blend in or send signals to potential mates. But glowing in the dark is risky. If you shine too brightly, something bigger might see you and decide you look like dinner. If you don't glow at all, you're left stumbling blindly in a pitch-black world, hoping you don't run into something with teeth. Either way, your life's an endless guessing game of whether you're about to eat or be eaten. Even if you somehow manage to avoid becoming food, you're still stuck with another problem: finding something to eat. There are no plants down here, no easy meals, nothing fresh. Almost all the food comes from above, drifting down as scraps, dead fish, or even decaying whale carcasses. If you're lucky, a whole whale might sink into your area, giving you and every other deep-sea scavenger a temporary feast. But that's rare. Most of the time you're stuck scraping by on whatever falls your way, and if nothing comes, you simply starve. Some creatures can survive months without eating, slowing their metabolism to a crawl just to stay alive. Others have adapted in grotesque ways, growing huge mouths and stretchy stomachs so they can swallow anything that fits inside. If you can't find food, there's only one other option: cannibalism. A lot of deep-sea creatures, including ones that look like harmless shrimp, will eat their own kind without hesitation. If food is scarce, even your own siblings might turn on you. There are no rules down here. If you're bigger, you eat. If you're smaller, you get eaten. It's simple as that. To make things worse, it's freezing. The water here is just above freezing temperature, meaning you're constantly battling the cold. Since most deep-sea creatures are cold-blooded, they can't generate their own heat, so they have to move as little as possible to conserve energy. Some barely move at all, floating in the abyss waiting for food to come to them. But that also means they have to be patient, sometimes waiting weeks or months for a proper meal. Imagine being that hungry, that cold, and knowing you don't get to eat until something dead or dying drifts your way. And if all that wasn't bad enough, you're probably gonna look like an absolute nightmare. Most deep-sea creatures are terrifying to look at, and that's because they've evolved in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Some, like the anglerfish, have massive gaping mouths filled with needle-like teeth, designed to snatch up anything they can catch. Others, like the gulper eel, can open their mouths so wide they can swallow creatures bigger than their own bodies. The barrel-eye fish has a transparent head, with its eyes looking upward through its own skull. The goblin shark has a jaw that literally shoots forward like something out of a horror movie. The frilled shark looks like a prehistoric sea monster with rows of razor-sharp teeth. And those are just the ones we know about. Scientists are still discovering new deep-sea creatures all the time, and almost every single one of them looks like they belong in a sci-fi horror film. Take the anglerfish, for example. Its existence is one of the most bizarre and unfortunate in the deep sea. If you're born as a female, your life's even worse. You spend your days lurking in the dark, waiting for something unlucky enough to wander close to your glowing lure. You don't get to chase prey or choose your meals. You have to wait, sometimes for weeks, until something practically swims into your mouth. If nothing comes, you starve. And if you ever manage to find a mate, you don't even get a proper companion. Instead, a tiny male latches onto you like a living tumor, sucking your blood and fusing into your flesh until he disappears completely except for his reproductive organs. It's not a partnership, it's not romance. It's just another harsh, miserable fact of life in the abyss. And if you're a male, your life isn't much better. You don't get to hunt, you don't get to live freely, and you certainly don't get to grow into a terrifying predator like the females. No, if you're a male anglerfish, your only purpose is to find a female, bite onto her, and fuse into her body. Your organs shrink, your fins disappear, and you lose your entire sense of self until you're just a tiny, useless lump of flesh attached to a giant predator. The only thing you still do is provide sperm whenever the female needs it. That's it. You aren't even a full fish anymore, just a permanently attached biological parasite. That's your entire life. If you think the anglerfish has it bad, imagine being a deep-sea blobfish. People call it the ugliest animal in the world, but honestly, that's the least of its problems. Above the water, people see pictures of blobfish looking like sad, droopy lumps of flesh. But that's only because they're completely out of their natural habitat. Down in the crushing depths of the ocean, they don't actually look like blobs at all. But life down there isn't any better. Blobfish have no muscles, no bones, and no way to fight or escape. They don't hunt, they just sit there, waiting for dead fish or scraps to drift into their mouths, hoping nothing hungry finds them first. The deep sea isn't just home to bizarre creatures. It's also one of the most hostile environments on the planet. The pressure's so extreme that almost nothing built by humans can survive for long. Submarines designed to explore these depths have to be specially reinforced, and even then, they risk being crushed like tin cans if they fail. The only reason any life exists down here at all is because it spent millions of years adapting to this nightmare world. Some creatures have developed antifreeze proteins in their blood to survive the near-freezing temperatures. Others have evolved eyes that can detect the faintest traces of light, allowing them to navigate the pitch-black abyss. Some can even generate their own electricity, like the electric ray, using it to stun prey or defend themselves. These adaptations are proof that even in the harshest conditions, life refuses to give up. Even though the Mariana Trench is one of the most remote places on the planet, humans have already managed to mess it up. Scientists have found plastic waste, toxic chemicals, and even microplastics inside deep-sea creatures. Meaning, even here in the deepest part of the ocean, you might be slowly poisoned by human trash. Some creatures have even been found with radioactive material from nuclear tests inside their bodies. It's not enough that life here is already brutal. Now it comes with the added bonus of slowly being filled with pollution.